Hello, my name is Brianna Elmore King, and today I will be reading The True Story of the Three Little Pigs by A. Wolf. Alright. Students, what part of the book is this, guys? Good job, it's the front. And what part of the book is this, guys? Good job, it's the back. And what about this part? It holds all the pages together. Good job, it's the spine. And who can remember who the author is? Does anyone remember? Oh, good job. The author is the one that writes the story. And what about the illustrator? Do you guys remember what the illustrator does? Oh, good job. The illustrator draws the pictures. Well, today we're going to be reading The True Story of the Three Little Pigs. Does anyone remember what story we read last week that sounds familiar to this one? Good job. Yes, it is the original story of the Three Little Pigs. This one is a lot like that one, but it's told by the wolf. So we'll get to see a little twist on that. This one is The True Story of the Three Little Pigs by A. Wolf. Well, as told by John Sheska, illustrated by Lane Smith. Everybody knows the story of the Three Little Pigs, or at least they think they do. But I'll tell you in on a little secret. Nobody knows the real story because nobody has ever heard my side of the story. I'm the wolf, Alexander T. Wolf. You can call me Al. I don't know how this big old bad wolf thing got started, but it's all wrong. Maybe it's because of our diet. Hey, it's not my fault wolves eat cute little animals like bunnies and sheep and pigs. That's just the way we are. If cheeseburgers were cute, folks would probably think you were big and bad too. Do you guys eat cheeseburgers? Yep. Do we eat bunnies though? No. You guys think the big bad wolf was bad? I would think he is bad too from the Three Little Pigs story, but let's see what it says in here. But like I was saying, the whole big bad wolf thing is all wrong. The real story is about a sneeze and a cup of sugar. This is the real story. Let's see what he has to say. Way back in Once Upon a Time, I was making a birthday cake for my dear old granny. I had a terrible sneezing cold. I ran out of sugar. So what do you think he's going to do since he's out of sugar, guys? Probably go find some, that's right. So I walked down the street to ask my neighbor for a cup of sugar. Now, this neighbor was a pig, and he wasn't too bright. He built his whole house out of straw. Can you believe it? I mean, who in his right mind would build a house out of straw? What do you guys think? Would a house out of straw stand and last a long time? No, probably not. So, of course, the minute I knocked on the door, it fell right in. I didn't just want to walk into someone else's house, so I called, little pig, are you in? No answer. I was just about to go home without the cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. That's when my nose started to itch. I felt a sneeze coming. Well, I huffed and I snuffed. And I sneezed a great sneeze. And you know what? That whole darn straw house fell down. And right in the middle was the pile of straw was the first little pig, dead as a doornail. He had been home the whole time. So if he was home the whole time, that means he must have been ignoring the wolf. It seemed like a shame to leave a perfectly good ham dinner lying there in the straw, so I ate it up. Think of it as a big cheeseburger just lying there. I was feeling a little better, but I still didn't have my cup of sugar. So I went to the next neighbor's house. This neighbor was the first little pig's brother. He was a little smarter, but not much. He had built his house of sticks. I rang the bell on the stick house. Nobody answered. I called, "Mr. Pig, Mr. Pig, are you in?" He yelled back, "Go away, wolf. You can't come in. I'm shaving the hairs on my chinny chin chin." Do you guys think that pig is very nice? No, he doesn't sound very nice. Let's see what happens. I had just grabbed the doorknob when I felt another sneeze coming on. I huffed and I snuffed and I tried to cover my mouth, but I sneezed a great sneeze. And you're not going to believe it, but this guy's house fell down just like his brother's. When the dust cleared, there was a second little pig, dead as a doornail. Wolf's honor. What do you guys think? Think the wolf really didn't mean to blow down the houses? Seems like it. Who knows? Now, you know how food will spoil if you just leave it out in the open. So I did the only thing there was to do. I had dinner again. Think of it as a second helping. I was getting awfully full, but my cold was feeling a little better, and I still didn't have that cup of sugar from my dear old granny's birthday cake. So I went to the next house. This guy was the first and second little pig's brother. He must have been the brains of the family. He had built his house of bricks. I knocked on the door. No answer. I called, "Mr. Pig, Mr. Pig, are you in?" And do you know what that rude little porker said? "Get out of here, wolf. Don't bother me again." Whew, he's not very nice. Talk about impolite. He probably had a whole sack full of sugar, and he wouldn't even give me one little cup for my dear sweet old granny's birthday cake. What a pig. I was just about to go home and maybe make a nice birthday card instead of a cake when I felt my cold coming. I huffed and I snuffed and I sneezed once again. Then the third little pig yelled, "And your old granny can sit on a pen." That is not very nice. What would happen if the granny did sit on a pen, guys? Yep, it would hurt because that's a sharp object. Now, I usually am a pretty calm fellow, but when somebody talks about my granny like that, I go a little crazy. When the cops drove up, of course, I was trying to break down the pig's door, and the whole time I was huffing and puffing and sneezing and making a real scene. Let's see what happens. The rest, as they say, is history. The news reporters found out about the 2 pigs I had for dinner. They figured a sick guy going to borrow a cup of sugar didn't sound very exciting. They jazzed up the story with all of that huff and puff and blow your house down, and they made me the big bad wolf. That's it. The real story. I was framed. but maybe you could loan me a cup of sugar. Did you guys like that story? Yeah. It reminds you of the one we read last week, huh? So which version do you guys think is real? Do you think the original, the pig story is real, or the wolf story is real? Yeah. The wolf one does sound pretty good, though. Who knows? Alright, so at this point, once I'm done reading the story to my kids, I would then have them break off into the centers. But I chose this story, The Real Story of the Three Little Pigs, as told to Jon Scieszka, illustrated by Lane Smith, because whenever I was in school growing up, I remembered this story as kind of like a good like twist on the original Three Little Pigs, because like even though the original Three Little Pigs has all its own little different versions, this one is totally different because it's told from the wolf's view, and I wanted to be able to give my students a chance to have the same experience I had and be able to see, you know, it helps them like see the different points of views even as early as first grade, which is what level I chose for my story to be. So thank you for watching.